Yo, what's happening, Cucumber Squad? Right, man. So, I've got something completely different for you. Just this name has been floating around my comment section for a couple of months now, until somebody actually nudged me again and said, listen, bro, I've been asking for this for so long. Please, man, can you just do this? Like, I think he's been waiting like a year. So I thought, okay, wait, let's just do it. It's called Chaap Tilak. I don't know this artist. I don't know anything about it. And it's Abida Parveen Rahat Fateh Ali Khan. It sounds Indian to me, or Hindi, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. I don't know, but it looks like it's a Coke Studio performance. Yeah, so we're exploring something new today. Let me just put on CCs just in case. And let's rock and roll, man. Let's get into this and see what we got. Let's go. So I kind of feel like this is, if I'm not mistaken, don't kill me if I'm wrong, but this might be Hindu, must be. Even the particular sounds very Indian, sounds very spiritual, right? I like this kind of sound first and foremost. I've heard a lot of this type of like, not sort of instrumentation, but I've heard this type of like sort of chanting almost. In different types of music, in different types, like if you look at things like Hotel Costas or Cafe Del Mar, they like to use a lot of this type of vocal sort of like tone in their music, which gives you a very peaceful feeling. But obviously I can see over here there are some lyrics, so let's just read that and see where we go with that. Let's go.
लागी सब कहें लागी सब कहें.
It's actually beautiful. Everybody makes a play of devotion, and when he actually says in the very beginning, he says, I have stalked all of those things, all those like earthly wants, right? I've stalked the money, I've stalked the wealth, I've stalked the success, right? So everybody makes a play to be devoted to something or other, right? This sounds like it's going to be very spiritual. Genuinely, I think we're going to get an ear cleansing over here. But anyway, let's carry on.
लागी सब कहें लागी लगी न अंग लागी तो जब जानिए जब रहे गुरु के संग.
You see what he's saying over here? So he says everybody is devoted to something, whether you're devoted to your career, devoted to making money, devoted to achieving something, devoted to some sort of goal or other. But it's never achieved, because it doesn't matter how. If you attain money, all you want is more money. If you attain one goal, all you want is the next goal, the next goal, the next goal, right? Devotion has no end unless, right, you devote yourself to your spiritual master, to your spiritual healer. Now, I like the fact that he said, devote yourself to your spiritual master, as opposed to saying like a particular God, because my belief is, it's a very spiritual belief. I believe that whatever the best religion in the world is whatever you believe in, whatever brings hope to you. I don't care for what your religion is. I would never judge on your religion. I don't care. I will never push what I believe on top of you, and I don't expect anybody to push what they believe on top of me. Whatever you believe is the best religion in the world because it means something to you. So the fact that he's saying, devote yourself to your spiritual master. So however you perceive your spiritual master, whether it be God, whether it be Allah, whether it be what's the Jewish one? Allah, God, Jesus. The Jewish one is oh my God, I can't remember that. Anyway, it doesn't matter either way. Whatever you devote, if you devote yourself to your spiritual God, it brings you a sense of healing. I like it. Let's go.
खुसरोबाजी प्रेम की जो मैं खेली पी के संग जीत गई तो पिया
I love what he's saying, Abida. Firstly, the sound, just the way it is, it almost sounds very like, it sounds sort of like it's chanting it, but it's almost like a mourning in a way, but it's actually like a spiritual, it could be taken either way. It could be taken as a mourning. It feels sort of like airy, and then also feels very in depth as well. I'm not sure if I'm describing it properly, but what I love about what he's saying is kusura. He's saying the game of love, right? And now if you offer that love to that loved one, if you lose, I'm still with my dear one. So it doesn't matter. Even if you lose in life, you're still with the people you love. Love is the most important thing in the world, which is the most... I say this all of the time, like you can never ever replace that. It doesn't matter how much you achieve, how much you attain. I've said this so many times in my videos. The last suit you ever wear will not have pockets, right? So you can't take all of that, the worldly possessions with you, right? But what you can't really take anything with you, but what is more powerful is what you can leave behind, and that is love. Which I think that is a better thing to live by, right? Than to have that thing like the man with the most toys wins, because it's very shallow. It's doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't spiritually. So where love does, right? So absolutely, I love where they're going with this. This is very much down my alley. And it's almost got like a bit of like a prayer type sound, right? It's almost like you are sort of, trying to hand your soul over to, a higher being through prayer is the way they're doing it. I think it's beautiful.
I
love that. Beautiful.
चाप तिलक सब छीन ली रे मोसे नैना मिलाई के चाप तिलक सब छीन ली रे मोसे नैना.
Such beautiful lyrics. Like you have captured, like you've taken like the soul, you've taken me, you've taken the whole of me, every trace of me, with one glance of your enchanting eyes. So coming down to the base, like the basis of humanity, right? is that forget about the rest of the world and just the person in front of you, right? Which is very much a sort of like Hindu type tradition, right? In the sense that even if you go and you do the pilgrimages, like the pilgrimages in India, this is the kind of spiritual journey you go through, right? It's about connecting with you and connecting with other people. You should be able to show your soul. You should be able to say thank you without saying thank you. By just looking at somebody, you should be able to convey that, right? We kind of like lost connection with humanity. Like from the time we're born, it's almost like systemic in the sense that, you know, the way we were like sort of brought up and sort of indoctrinated in a sense where, you know, crying is weak, and, you know, when a child bangs his head or something like that and he comes crying and his tears are pouring down his face, first thing mother does is like, no, don't cry, don't cry, wipe the tears away. Why? It's a natural human emotion. It's a natural human thing to do. Why do we always need to hide that we're in pain? Why do we always need to like wipe away the tears? We've got cheeks for a reason. Let those tears run down those cheeks. It shows something. It's beautiful, right? We kind of disconnected from the base elements of humanity because, you know, there's a certain like societal mold that we have to fit into, essentially. So I really love this sort of vibe. He said over here, so it says, whether or not you decide to speak to me, whether or not you decide to listen to me, I will never sort of waver, I'll never lose faith. And what's nice about that is actually the devotion and the commitment. Now, where he speaks to the devotion in the beginning with regards to, even if there's a lot of people that will believe that like there is no God, right? This is all scientific, it was a big bang, we come from nothing, we go to nothing. And I kind of feel like everything in between that, whatever it is that you believe in, if it does bring you a sense of hope, if it brings you something, being devoted to something that just uplifts your own well-being, right? And I don't personally believe that there's nothing out there. I personally say that this much perfection couldn't have come by chance. It's just that's my personal belief. I believe that the Big Bang Theory, in order for the Big Bang Theory to happen, the actual odds of that are just like 1 in trillions, right? Whereas the odds, like if I had to give you a deck of cards, I'm saying this is like, it had to happen like once, essentially. If I had to give you like a deck of cards, a deck of 52 cards, and I had to say, okay, you got one chance and one chance only, right? And pull out the Queen of Spades. You only get one chance. If you don't pull out the Queen of Spades, it's done. Like Earth is not happening. Right? And then like that's 1 in 52, and the chances are you're not going to pull it out in the first time. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. Like, if you go and you scale that up to 1 in a trillion, essentially, and then when you just sort of start looking down at like the baser level of like, you know, start looking of Earth and, you know, the complexities, the natural knowledge that nature has, I personally feel that there's something like this couldn't have come by chance. Do I believe in evolution? Of course I believe in evolution. I believe that, of course, we've evolved, right? But I do believe that there was something bigger out there. And I'm not going to say like a God or whatever else, because I'm more spiritual than I am religious. but there is a greater power, whether it be energy, whether it be something, there's a greater power that has brought us to this level of perfection, essentially. So, but going back to what he's saying with regards to whether you listen or whether you don't listen, so whether it's out there or whether it's not out there, I will stay devoted because it brings me peace. I'll stay devoted because it's faith, and having faith is never a bad thing, right? As long as you don't have faith in the wrong things, you don't have faith in people who do evil. Having faith in something that's beautiful and peaceful and only brings joy and love to the world, that cannot harm the world. That can only enhance the world. So whatever it is that you believe in, if other people don't believe in that, your faith is important to you, so stick to that. You don't need to flip-flop on that because it means something. And it actually, through that faith, you're sort of transcending onto other people and you're making other people's lives better, which are, I'm all down, I'm all for it. This is why it's so nice to listen to different music around the world, because you get to hear and see different people's connection with like God, religion, spirituality, other people. You know what I mean? You get to see a different cultural aspect, right? And I'm very, very for the Buddhist sort of mentality. I'm very for spiritualism. I'm very for the Dalai Lama's preachings. That's where I lie, if anybody didn't know that. Play. This very beautiful. I specifically love the instrumentation of this as well. I kind of find it's got a bit of like a tropical sound to it. If it's not just the drumming over there, like it's a thing. Like I'm no specialist in sound engineering or certain sound. I can just tell you in terms of like how I feel, like how sonically pleasing it can be for the ears, right? I kind of feel like this is really, really peaceful. It's almost like it's cleansing in a way. The sound is cleansing. It's all beautiful, powerful. It's uplifting, right? Regardless of whether you understand what they're saying or you don't understand what they're saying, if you're listening to this, you either feel like it's a song of mourning, right? Which in itself is something beautiful, where you are mourning the loss of somebody, meaning that you are celebrating how he lived and mourning that he's gone, right? So, a lot of people tend to look at that as like as a really bad thing, as like mourning is a bad thing. Being in mourning means that I feel sorrow for something that was beautiful on earth has now left, which means you're paying homage, you're paying tribute to that person, which in itself is very uplifting. So you can see it as that, or you can also see it as a prayer. It's a prayer to the universes, right? A prayer to the universe. It's either way. If you don't know the lyrics, you can feel the actual energy, you can feel the spirituality of this piece. If that makes any sense. You might not agree with me, but I do. Not I do agree with me. I do feel like this is what I just said it is. It's like, I'm not like, oh no, I do agree with me. That just to clarify. Lots of control in that. So you've intoxicated me with one glance of your enchanting eyes. I also can feel that this song could be related to an actual relationship. It doesn't have to specifically be spiritual. I do think that they do take a bit of the spirituality. They are putting in the spiritual. They're encompassing, where he talks about the spiritual master. But I also believe that this could be a song about a relationship or somebody that you love. It's all really much to do with love, essentially, whether it be the love of faith, love of your spiritual mother, love of somebody who is on earth, right? So also in terms of like the Buddhists and what the Buddhists believe that you in yourself are God, right? So every single person in themselves are God in one way or another, right? So you are God. And they could have been speaking like that the God is actually here in the physical, right? And by connecting with that person, right, you do get a sense of God, of the metaphysical, because love is transcended from one to another, which is like godly in a way. I mean, I'd like to talk about more of this. I mean, I have gone through courses with regards to this. I got a lot to talk about that, but we're not going to do it right now, right? But from a spirituality sense and my beliefs, I could talk on it for days. I've been through a lot of courses through it. I've cleansed my own soul, through those sort of beliefs, and I don't tend to talk about it because it's for me. It's not for anybody else. It's for me.
Chaap Tilak sab cheer mere se naina milayenge
रैनी चढ़ी रसूल की रैनी चढ़ी रसूल की रंग मौला के हाथ जिसकी चुंदरी रंग दी धन धनुष के भाग चाप तिलक सब चीर नैना मिलाएंगे उस रोन जाम के बल बल.
You can see the song is very much attached to a certain belief, because they're even saying certain things over here with like the prophet has come. The prophet has come down on this and dawned on this day, and then Khusrau forfeits his life in Nizamuddin Aliya's love, right? So obviously this is religious. This is to do with a particular belief, right? Not one that I'm knowledgeable enough to talk on, right? But you can see sort of where the vein of the song, where the crux of the song lies, is in belief in spirituality of some sort, right? Which is absolutely beautiful. That's what makes the world beautiful, is the different cultures. The different cultures around the world just need to be respected. Why would we ever want to be in one culture? Why does the whole world need to follow one culture? All these beautiful different cultures are what makes the world so special, is you learning something different, you connecting with a different part, different souls around the world. Why is this pursuit to sort of normalize everybody into one culture? I think it's completely dead wrong. You know what I mean? So this is what makes the world beautiful, and it needs to be respected. Okay, so this is completely different. So not different, but I've just researched now what Muhammad Nizamuddin Auliya, also known as Hazrat Nizamuddin, right? Mahbub Ali, sorry, I'm butchering all of this, an Indian Sunni Muslim scholar, Sufi saint of the Christi order, and is one of the most famous Sufis from the Indian subcontinent. Right, he was born in the 9th of October 1238, and then he died on 3rd of April 1325. Now that's something obviously I didn't know that. So this is obviously a prophet that they're speaking to, right? So again, with religion, beautiful. Right, he died in Delhi, in New Delhi, India. So, wow, okay. Okay, so we learned something. We learned something new over here. Let's go.
छाप तिलक सब चीज मोरे नैना मिलाए नैना
I actually really enjoyed that. I thought that was very spiritual, very different. Like, now this is the thing. It might not be a lot of people who are used to conventional, traditional music from around the world are going to listen to this. It's not my cup of tea, right? And it's not meant to be your cup of tea. It's meant to be something that either connects with you or doesn't connect with you, right? It's completely from a different culture. It's from a different set of beliefs, right? And if it doesn't intertwine with your set of beliefs, it's not going to speak to you. Right? But if you're a little bit more open-minded and you just listen, you tend to realize that all of these belief structures around the world, regardless of whether you're Christian or Muslim or Jewish or whatever else, there is a certain playing field that is identical for absolutely everybody, and that is that it's a belief in something to help yourself. Essentially, so it's a spirituality that you take in that brings you hope, and all religions do that. Absolutely everything, whatever you believe in, means that you are placing a faith and hope in something, which means it gives you hope, right? Which enhances your life in a way. That's what makes it so beautiful about every religion. So there is no religion in the world that's better than any other. It just means that the one that you believe in is better for you. Right? Or the one that you have been brought up is better for you. It speaks to you at the end of the day. And it also means that some of these religions mean nothing to nobody. Right? It means nothing to somebody might just say, I don't believe in any of them. Right? But the one thing that's most important is you've got to respect all of them. Because every single person follows it for a particular reason. And it's to add purpose to his life in one way or another. And you can never ever go and try and take that away from anybody. So yeah, anyway, I love you all, man. Please stay safe, please stay healthy. This was cool. I finally did it. And yeah, let me know what you think down below, guys. And I'm happy to have a discussion on this and learn a little bit more about any of this if I've gone too far astray or whatever. Anyway, love you all. Please stay safe, please stay healthy. Catch you in the next one. Peace.